During the 90s era of hip-hop, the sounds of the East and West Coast dominated the airwaves, with boom bap and stories of the struggle in the East, and G-Funk with its party-oriented and raw gangster music in the West. Southern rap, however, was harder to define and wasn't taken as seriously by the mainstream during this time period. As a result, many rappers released music independently, without a label, resulting in a wide variety of sounds and experimentation. Despite the unique approach of these scenes, Southern rap was widely hated, mocked and ridiculed. Since the 2000s, Southern production tropes and flows have taken over hip-hop. Trap is now, without a doubt, the most popular and influential sound coming from the South, infiltrating both the underground and the mainstream, with hi-hat rolls, booming 808s, and triplets. While Atlanta is generally credited as the birthplace of modern trap, many fans are unaware of a scene predating Atlanta's that went on to influence the sound of hip-hop today.
North Memphis, South Memphis, West Wood, Orange Mound. 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 Niggas ain't Barnett, niggas ain't Barnett. North Memphis, South Memphis, West Wood, Orange Mound. Niggas ain't Barnett, niggas ain't Barnett. North Memphis, North Memphis, North Memphis, North Memphis, South Memphis, South Memphis, South Memphis, South Memphis, West Wood, West Wood, West Wood, West Wood, Orange Mound, Orange Mound.
The whole Memphis sound, that's really what influenced my sound.
A lot of the hip hop you hear today and shit like that was influenced by motherfucking old Memphis rappers and shit.
When I was hustling, I always was playing Memphis rappers. I felt like they had such an underground scene, and that's what I gravitated to. Like the most gutter music is what I want to hear.
While I've never been to Memphis, the city famous for its barbecues, clean drinking water, and oddly shaped buildings intrigues me deeply. Not only is Memphis the birthplace of rock and roll and home of blues, it is also mentioned in songs more than any other city in the world. While Memphis may be fascinating to outsiders like myself, the city is incredibly violent, with one of the highest rates of crime in the US. This is reflected in the themes and lyrics of Memphis rap, aka Memphis horrorcore, a unique sound that emerged from the city during the mid-90s. The sound is characterized by its dark atmosphere, lo-fi production, triplet flow, repetitive hooks, and dreamy sound. Notable artists include 666 Mafia, Tommy Wright III, DJ Squeaky, Gangsta Pat, Kingpin Skinny Pimp, DJ Zerk, Al Capone, and many more. These artists created a prototype for modern trap music and invented a timeless sound that inspired various microgenres, such as cloud rap, trill wave, and funk. Like many other niche scenes throughout history, Memphis rap went on to influence genres that surpassed the popularity of the original scene. This makes the topic extremely difficult to research due to a lack of information. In fact, while researching the topic, I only found a handful of handy articles and videos. Even the Wikipedia page was lacking information. While I don't claim to be an expert on the topic, I've done my best to provide an accurate depiction of the scene and its history. The first thing that needs to be addressed before going any further is the question of how Memphis rap originated. Many listeners lacking a deep understanding of the scene credit 3 6 as the pioneers of the style. However, this is far from true. The godfather of Memphis rap was DJ Spanish Fly, an electro DJ who began dropping his own songs between mixes and sold tapes at the clubs he played at. Fly's music was a catalyst for change in the rap landscape. His use of 808s, darker subject matter, and electro influence foreshadowed the sound of early pioneers. DJ Squeaky followed Spanish Fly and further developed the sound. His beats were dark and menacing. For a brief moment, Squeaky was the go-to producer, with rappers such as 8ball and MJG, Skinny Pimp, Tom Ski Mask, and Criminal Main gracing his beats. Squeaky's sound went on to influence 666 Mafia. In fact, DJ Paul and Juicy J's first tapes sampled sounds from Squeaky's beats. These bootleg sounds caused ruckus within the scene. Squeaky explains in this 2012 interview the 666 were copying his style, beats and hooks. While these allegations may be true, I believe 3-6 really perfected the sound and left their mark on the scene with classic tracks such as Player Haters, Riding into Chevy, and Break the Law. In fact, the whole of Underground Volume 1 is one of my favourite tapes and is a classic from back to back, and a great entry into 666 Mafia's discography and the Memphis scene as a whole. Memphis rap history wouldn't be complete without mentioning Number One Suspect by Gangsta Pat, the first major label release coming from the city. In the same year, 8ball and MJG made their debut with their underground album Listen to the Lyrics, which was followed up in 1993 with Coming Out Hard, a highly regarded and influential Memphis classic, also sampled by 3-6. Unfortunately, Memphis rap history is an extremely complex topic. Luckily, L Dialogue, a rapper from Memphis, created a song titled The Unofficial Story of Memphis Rap, which goes into great detail about the roots of the sound. The link to this song will be in the description, and I highly recommend checking it out. The Memphis sound isn't the most accessible hip-hop subgenre. The thick southern accent, lyrical content, and lo-fi sound can be off-putting for many. However, these twisted, mysterious, and otherworldly sounds are what intrigue me the most about the genre. One moment I can be feeling euphoric as ambient samples wash over me until the track changes and I'm greeted by devilish laughter and unsettling, demonic, trance-like vocal loops. This unsettling, drugged-out atmosphere of Memphis rap was a result of DIY recordings using equipment like 4-tracks and cheap drum machines. These machines were extremely basic and forced producers to experiment within their limitations, resulting in a unique and recognizable sound that stands out from the crowd. Drum patterns programmed on the TR-808, usually sequenced in halftime, are the backbone for Memphis production. The sounds featured in this legendary drum machines are extremely distinct, with thick kick drums, snares that sound like gunshots, and twittering hi-hats. One of the most recognizable sounds coming from the machine is the 808 cowbell, used in many tracks to create creepy melodies. Similar patterns can be heard in modern cloud trap. For example, this Hard in the Paint remix by legendary producer Suicide Year.
Fuck, I go hard in the motherfucking paint, nigga. Leave you stankin', nigga. What the fuck you thinking, nigga? I won't die for this shit or what the fuck I said. Front yard, broad day with the asking. See Gucci, that's my motherfucking nigga. I hang in the down with them hit squad killers. Walk a flock of flame on the hood ass nigga. Riding real slow, bending corners, my nigga.
Sampling was, and still is, an extremely important aspect of hip-hop. However, Memphis producers rejected the common rules and techniques used by other regions. For example, chopping samples was quite uncommon in Memphis. Producers would generally loop horror movie soundtracks, pianos, soul samples, and synth melodies to create their beats. Another big difference is that there was no stigma behind who could use what sample and how they used it. Generally, reusing popular samples was looked down upon on the East and West Coast, but in Memphis, producers would often reuse the same samples as their peers, sometimes multiple times. This included musical elements such as melodies, as well as acapellas and drums from other local artists. Some of the most popular samples include Snowboy's Drag Rap, Isaac Hayes' Ike's Mood, the Izzy Brothers' The Highways of My Life, and the OJ's Cry Together. A common technique used during the 90s involved sampling vocals repeatedly through tracks to create hypnotic hooks. Often these vocal hooks were resampled by other artists, causing more grit and tape hiss to the tracks. The most famous example of this is DJ Zerk's track Too Thick from 1993, which is probably the most sampled Memphis track of all time. Some of my favourite tracks that use this sample include 9 to Your Dome by 3-6 Mafia.
What you gonna do, bitch? Get up on my dick because you know this shit is thick. This shit is thick.
Little Noid talking shit.
Your shit out with my clip and shoot you in your fucking face. Your shit out with my clip and shoot you in your fucking
and Slangin' Rocks by Player Fly. As you've probably realised by now, Memphis rap is highly DIY, but not only in its production, but also in its distribution. During this time period, albums were generally distributed independently. Legendary producer and rapper Tommy Wright outlines this perfectly in his video for Complex.
Mainstream wasn't big to us. We know we underground. We make a tape, roll up to the stereo shop, hope they buying, you know what I'm saying, 50 or 100. Come back, make some little hand-drawn flyers, stick them up somewhere, put them out there, and hope that the store call you back needing a re-up, you know what I mean?
These do-it-yourself approaches to promotion created a strong culture that has lived on today with the advent of independent streaming sites such as SoundCloud and Bandcamp. In fact, many Memphis revival artists continue to release music on the tape format, such as Little Ugly Mane and artists from Doom Shop Records. Tapes from the original scene can be found on eBay and Discogs occasionally, but due to degradation, these tapes are becoming extremely rare and difficult to find in working condition. Fortunately, collectors and fans have uploaded most of the greatest tracks on YouTube and blog sites, allowing for future generations to enjoy the classic sound. The triplet flow, also known as the Migo flows in modern culture, has taken over hip-hop in recent years, but it has been around for a lot longer than most people realise. The flow lends itself to halftime beats and was an important aspect of the Memphis sound, with artists such as Lord Infamous, Lil Yo, aka Yo Gotti, and Coopster, using this technique to create powerful punchlines, tongue twisters and rhythms that have me impressed and confused at the same time. Some examples of the triplet flow include Low Key on That Devil Shit, Lil Yo, Creepin', but the real mastermind behind triplets is Lord Infamous.
I just wonder why come I commit all these murders when full of the ganja. I smoke at the second, I load up the full metal jacket like I'm in a trunk. But the drummer begins to blow up, I'm corrupt off the onion. Endo blunts like bumps when I light up the fuse, a lot niggas ain't done.
Disputes over the origin of the sound sparked beef between Bone Thugs and 666 during the 90s. However, it is not completely clear where the flow originates from. The flow has stood the test of time, becoming the dominant sound in modern rap. Mainstream artists such as the Migos, Lil Uzi Vert, Kanye West and many more have used the flows, as well as underground artists such as Suicide Boys, Bones and Denzel Curry. In combination with triplets, Memphis rappers often deliver their lyrics in a creepy high-pitched singing voice. My favourite example of this is in the track Robbers, in which Coopster delivers haunting imagery of psychopathic, criminal behaviour over an eerie instrumental. This vocal performance is both spooky and dreamy, creates a dissociative experience for the listener. Perhaps even more important than flow is subject matter. Drug use, murder, gang violence, crime, horror, the occult, and possession are all common themes in Memphis rap. Due to the evil nature of Memphis lyrics, some critics have argued that artists such as 666 Mafia are devil worshippers or cult members. In fact, conspiracy theories regarding cursed tapes and sigils have surfaced online through forums and image boards such as 4chan's paranormal board X. However, the lack of information makes it difficult to research or validate and remains a mystery. Memphis rap is also famous for its slang and difficult to interpret lyrics. A great example of this is the hook from Riding Steamer on DJ Zerk's Underworld tape. term riding steamer is used in this track to refer to driving in a stolen vehicle. Other famous slang includes junt or joint, and anna or animosity. However, the most iconic slang word is fairly simple, main, which is a popular way to pronounce the word man in Memphis. Memphis tapes are always referencing local areas and real events. Their lyrics can often be wacky, bizarre and otherworldly, as the scene puts great emphasis on style and less on lyricism and rhyming. This way of thinking has really helped hip-hop move in a new direction, which can be seen in the rap culture that followed in the 2000s to the present, especially with artists such as Lil B. While the genre remained mostly underground during its heyday, the scene gained a cult following online through blogs and YouTube channels, which helped to introduce a whole new generation to the music. Some of my favourite channels to explore include Psychopathic Savage, Soldiers from the North, and many others. It is hard not to notice the scene's strong connection to internet music genres and sounds in hip-hop. Trillwave, aka funk, which predates cloud rap, is heavily influenced by Memphis rap, with artists from Space Ghost Purp's Raider Clan laying the foundation for artists from the cloud rap scene. DJ Smokey is another pioneer of the funk sound, who utilizes vocals, samples, and percussion from the Memphis era. His style is very recognizable and has inspired a whole new generation of producers on SoundCloud. One of my most favourite albums of the decade is Mr. Thug Isolation by Little Ugly Mane, a Memphis revival classic that hyperbolizes the dark sounds of Memphis and paints a vivid picture of an introspective thug persona. Countless rap scenes have been influenced by Memphis horrorcore, Chicago drill, mumble rap and mainstream trap, just to name a few. The scene can almost be compared to the Norwegian black metal scene, as both scenes reject the common vocal styles of the respective genres, with an emphasis on a DIY, lo-fi sound that utilizes otherworldly atmospheres and darker themes. The first versions of trap music as we know it today were based loosely off of Memphis production. Producers such as Shorty Red and Lex Luger took Memphis's dark sound and added energy to it, utilizing similar techniques to the scene's producers, such as 808s, hi-hat rolls and creepy melodies. The Memphis scene produced a lot of classic tapes and albums. Some great projects that I recommend include The Devil's Playground by Coops the Knicker, Ashes to Ashes, Dust to Dust by Tommy Wright, Dream World by Blackout, Volume 3 Spring Mix by DJ Paul and Juicy J, The Havoc by Graveyard Productions, Dead or Alive by 10 Wanted Men, Deadly Verses by Gangsta Pat, The Resurrection by Al Capone, and Underworld by DJ Zerk. For more great recommendations, check out Rate Your Music's Memphis Rap Chart. It has an extensive list and has been ranked according to user reviews. I also recommend checking out the artists I mentioned previously, whose sound was influenced by the Memphis legacy. In conclusion, the Memphis scene was an amazing period in hip-hop, and one of my personal favourites. Artists from the movement were truly ahead of their time and have helped to shape and mould trap music into what it is today. The scene has a lot to offer, whether it be Tommy Wright's twisted cowbell melodies, Coops and Infamous's tongue-twisting triplets, or Zerk's pounding production. Open-minded listeners will find something they enjoy or respect within the scene. Thanks to the dedicated community of blogs, YouTube channels and revival artists for allowing the mysterious sounds of Memphis to continue to live on forever. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching.